Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm excited to get into a little bit of balloons today. I know I have quite a lot that I have done. First off, I beat the boss event over the time it was here, so I was able to get another soundtrack or two to add. Um, when it comes to the spa pits, we're literally one off black border, so I thought we might as well do that today. But also, Ninja Kiwi just outright shadow dropped out of nowhere the freaking new Desperado Tower. Like, wow. Try not to sneeze. One sec. Sorry. Get 40 round speed bad, but it gets tougher each time. I mean, it's not too bad, but I like how it says 40 rounds, but it actually is 38. But I was like, okay. So how am I going to deal with this? So this is kind of like what I set up. I probably don't need this many ice monkeys, but I kind of just chose them because they're useful. Though, I think I'm going to take -1. This is my setup I've kind of come up with, though. Actually, I should grab our engineer. Because if we look at each of these maps, there's a good place for Sada in each of them. This one is going to be the most difficult. This one shouldn't be too bad. These first three, though, shouldn't be the worst. But either way, this is what I'm going to be using for my crew. And I might as well talk a bit about the new Desperado Tower. Because they just outright announced it. Like, full on, out of nowhere. I was opening up Steam, doing my thing, just yada yada yada, and then, holy shit. Surprise. Do I have auto start on? Okay, good. Because I know I turn it off here and there when it comes to, boss events. I turn it on and off at points. But I can actually read the thing that they released for it. Because it was announced 10 hours ago with a little thing. The Desperado is a cowboy gunslinger monkey. And it's going to have loads of lore design, push strong mechanical variants, 3 paths while keeping cross-path tactically compelling. 3 automatic alternative weapons. The Desperado starts off with a fast pistol attack that can dispatch 2 back-to-back targets at a high range before reloading. While lacking in pierce, the base attack can very reliably hit straggler moves. The Desperado swaps between weapons as upgrade paths progress, prioritizing shorter range weapons as balloons come into close range. Top path, quick draw, fires faster the further the balloons are away, and then upgrades to a powerful revolver that fires a rapid burst of 6 shots before reload. Then they double it. Yeah, you got 2 hands, don't ya? Upon upgrading the Blazing Sun, these revolvers fire so quickly, they're said to overheat in a blinding flame. Like, this stuff sounds awesome. That's for the top path. Do the quick shots. Bottom path gains a short-range blunderbuss that fires buckshot with the force that balloons are thrown backwards, then adds a buckshot to its buckshot with a burst of shrapnel, spraying out each lead ball on impact. As a lone wolf who prefers to work on their own, this path has the grit and to withstand almost anything, passively reducing the life damage taken from balloon leaks while gaining buffs to itself and reclaiming cash from lost balloons. Little is known about this lone specter of the wastelands, but the Desert Phantom is said to be near unassiliable force, locking down swarms of Moabs with the trigger pull, and cutting down countless balloons in explosive chain reactions that leave no trace behind. Not even their hats. Then you have Middle Path, gains a slower firing rifle, with the exception of high range, with the skill to increase the chance of criticals to the further targets away. Their hunter eyes never lose sight of while they single bounties on balloons, making those targets extra damage from any desperado and grant more cash when popped. The mythical Golden Justice is even more adept at critical damage, and is said that once locked on, balloons can't escape its sight, no matter the number. Like, this sounds so cool. And then it mentions the 2 middle path abilities that it gets. So it gets 2 full-on abilities here, which is awesome. You don't really see a lot of, like, multi-abilities. First one, take aim, target any tower to grant it a massive range boost and improved accuracy along with camo detection. And at tier 4, purple, white, and black balloon popping for a short period. And then mark to pop, quickly mark extra bounty targets, and then rapidly executing as many marked targets as it can. It doesn't come with a placement hotkey yet. It might in the future, but it's unlocked for popping 3,500,000 balloons. So we're definitely gonna do so. Like, next time we play balloons, I'm definitely gonna be going for that if I haven't already unlocked it. And then of course you can get all the stuff, or you could purchase the premium and get cowboy hat, trophy items, avatar, banner, etc. But like, it sounds so cool. Like, I'm actually really excited, and from what some of the stuff has been leaked, it looks like a possible primary tower, which is awesome because we haven't really gotten a primary tower in a long time. And it would mean every single tower type has gotten an addition now, like including heroes, which is honestly cool. It definitely makes me curious, though, because it's one of those things of I'd love to see where it goes. It's mainly out of curiosity. The fact that we have to face BADs is worrying for me, to be completely fair. But I think we can deal with it. But honestly, like, the thought of using the Desperado when it comes out sounds so fun. Like, I definitely want it to be part of my main strategy for black bordering certain things as well, because I think it would be fun to try. Leaping swords. I'm doing these for the sake of dealing with DDTs, because it should leak DDTs out too, because they're part lead. There we go. Yikes. Okay, so the Ice Monkey definitely helped a bit, though I think what I'm going to do for Sada is... Here is good. For this, instead, I'm going to go top path. And then I want to put the Ice Monkey here. And I think that should help quite a lot. But then I also want to set up a few other things. Because this is one of the few times where I did not make a plan going into this, because I just was like, you know what? I don't have the energy to do it today. I'd rather just do it on top, like, as we do it and see what happens. Because it's more fun that way. But depending on, like, how the Desperado fully works and whatnot, its pricing, etc., I could totally see it being, like, very useful primary support. But I could also see it, like, being amazing with, like, primary expertise, which would give it pierce and, like, more range. But it sounds like it's going to be semi-sniper-like. which is cool. And it's going to have camo detection, but it also will be able to give camo detection, meaning Dart Monkey and Ice Monkey won't be the only two primary towers with camo detection anymore. If the leak is true of it being a primary tower. Because if so, that's awesome. I'd love that. Because it just gives so much more variety. Because otherwise, if you're going to hit camo, you need to use the Boomerang's ability with Monkey Knowledge. Or use the Glue Storm ability. Which, even then, without Corrosive, it's not going to damage the balloons, but it doesn't really help against Moabs or anything. But even then, it's still exciting. It makes me really dang excited for what's to come with the Desperado. And I think it has a great name, the Desperado. I can already think of, like, so many good names they could use for, like, new Paragons. The main issue, now that we know with, like, Paragons can have no camo detection, I'm curious how that's gonna work for some. Because I know, like, the Spike Factory Paragon was banned in the most recent boss event because of how broken it is, because it's the first time since they updated the bosses that it can one-shot a boss. So, yeah, you can now one-shot a boss with that tower. Which I think says a lot. But yeah, once I get embrittlement on this, because the embrittlement is good because it means we deal more damage to the Moab. Then I can do this. But I'm also gonna probably want to put like a tack shooter here. Okay, let's think what we're gonna want. I'm probably gonna want this. And then get that to Juggernaut. Then I'm gonna probably want a tack shooter here or here. I think here. And I'm just gonna go for more tacks, faster shooting, because that's just gonna shred. If we can get it to overdrive. Because we should have enough monkey money. Not monkey money. Monkey coins, or whatever they're called. Honestly, I don't know what these are supposed to be called. Because I know the stuff for, like, buying power-ups is monkey money. If I remember correctly. Yeah, monkey money. So what would this be called? Monkey coins? Monkey cents? Like, I actually don't know. I don't think it actually mentions it. Now I'm curious. Let's check the shop real quick. Heroes. I like how it says purchase, but I never bought these. Legends. Holy crap. Where's double cash is what it's called. I mean, I guess it might just be cash since cash drop, etc. And if so, it's like, you would think it would be more than just cash. But Lord knows. It's mainly my curiosity coming into play of, I wonder, type stuff. Because I've never really, like, put a lot of thought into, like, what it would be called for this. I usually just call it monkey money, despite the fact that the premium currency stuff is monkey money. We could call it banana coin. Or BC for short. I mean, banana coin fits, I feel like. Since you make it from bananas as well. Banana coin would fit. Gotta load up on that banana coin. Honestly, I think for the lull factor of it and just the jokes you can make with banana coin, I think it's worth it. I definitely think we can beat this. It's just not going to be easy. Bum bum ba da dum. The last one is the one I'm the most worried about because it's going to be on a different map, but with more HP. But these all are custom rounds, so it might actually give us more money. Because we're going to definitely want farms for that final one. Come on. Ah, yes, my one weakness. Camos. Okay, so that didn't work. So yeah, I do need this here, and this here. I mean, this kind of just shows how important placement is in this game. And, like, towers. Like, that stuff can really matter. So by putting the ice monkey up further, we get more of the embrittlement effect. What if I put it here? I think that might be worth it. It's gonna take some time, but I definitely think it could work. And then I'll figure stuff out from there. Larger radius. But yeah, I think the ice monkey is definitely gonna help in this case. Because I really... I'm glad I didn't test this one because it actually means I get to try more with this. Like, I did test out, like, ideas, so I actually get to go in without a plan for how I might deal with certain things. Yeah, it means I'm going to be a little more sloppy, but I don't care. I find it fun. And I might start doing that more when it comes to these Odysseys, is like, because I like doing the weekly Odyssey whenever we do balloons. I think it's fun, and it's a good way to just like do different stuff while also just chatting about different stuff that's coming up with the game and without the game. I'm interested in using the Desperado next time too, because it's supposed to come out the 18th. I don't know if I'll try to unlock it on or off stream. If I decide to do it on stream, that will be the whole point of the stream, is unlocking Desperado. And then, like, leveling it up. Because it just would be cool. But, like, thinking about it, it really makes me excited. I know I did think about some random stuff, like, throughout the last while. Like, the most random crap has popped into my brain for, like, D&D and whatnot. As I, like, work on stuff. And it's one of those things of, how can I do this better? How could I do that better? It's just a lot of me, like, questioning that stuff. Because it's one of those things of, I think about where I, like, have issues when, like, doing certain things with roleplay, etc. And honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I think I over-prepare too much, unironically as well, which doesn't help with my improv. In fact, it hinders it in a lot of cases. So I was thinking to myself, how could I improve this? And I was like, you know what? Instead of writing out like how the character would react to everything, I'm just gonna go with the flow with the personality. I think that might help a lot more. Of course, there still will be times where some of the most batshit insane stuff is going to be said, and I won't know how to reply, but I feel like it might be better to allow for my improv to grow, which will help with that. Because, I mean, I definitely am not the best at improv, nor do I claim to be. I'm honestly pretty bad at it. But I definitely would love to try and get better at it. I know there's a lot of examples for me, especially. I know one of the things I am excited for, though, with like the whole thing of improv and whatnot, is the possibilities it brings. You know what? I'm gonna do this for the Pierce alone. I doubt we're gonna get Ring of Fire, but if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's how I look at it. The Chimps mode one is gonna be brutal. Especially with like certain things. It might just be extremely brutal. Yeah, I definitely think we can do this. Because, yeah, even if this does 1 damage, it's also weakening it for Sada. And hopefully the crits will help a lot, too. Yeah, look, it's already bandaged and whatnot. It's going way faster. Okay. Okay, then I have the Ring of Fire. It'll overwhelm into the Ring of Fire, which can take care of a good chunk of that. Perfect. No lives lost. Gotta think of the Pierce. I'm honestly glad I did. So this one seems to be the same, except military. Honestly, I'm glad I brought Sada, because Sada is one of the best ones for most of these maps. I mean, for the BAD, I have a few ideas of how I can take care of certain things. And I think you can kind of guess with the snipers and whatnot. I'm just hoping that, like, I will be able to make enough money to actually be able to do it. Because I'm definitely going to want pirates. Because the pirates are good. It's the lack of rounds we have to make money as well. I was hoping we'd get more, but I get why we don't. I'm gonna want to set this one to camo. Bum ba-dum ba-da-dum ba-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-da-dum ba-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-da-bum ba-da-bum bum bum ba-dum ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum ba-da-ba-da-bum bum 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 ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. God, I can't get over the damn music. I'm too much of a nerd for that. I think I'm gonna go for merchantmen. I feel like a merchantman wouldn't be a bad idea. For like the extra money. I just don't think I'll make a lot back. In all honesty. That's my biggest worry, is not making enough back to make it worth it. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Because it is the price of, I believe hard. I believe this is the hard mode price. If I remember correctly. So it is a lot more. Photo. There we go, another merchant man. It's not worth it to get more at this point. We're too far in. Faster fire, because I need to get large caliber and then the cripple. But the reason I'm not going for fast fire gun this one is DDTs. Okay. Large caliber. Then I'm going to want deadly precision and a bunch of other stuff. This one, the reason I want large... Actually, no. I have a better idea. I'm going to go bouncing bullet, actually. Because I'm thinking about, like, all the balloons that will spawn. Bouncing bullet's going to be very useful. Okay. I'm just hoping the merchantmen will be worth it. I might just need to focus on merchantmen next if I don't win this, just for the sake of it. Bouncing bullet. Do. Cannon ship. At least this should do pretty good. I've just prayed that this actually goes well enough. What? Oh yeah, the fire, that's gonna help quite a bit. Even if it's not perfect. Okay. Do. I'm worried about them DDTs. Might as well do that just so I have the area that I can see everything. Come on. Yeah, no, I need to restart. And we're going merchantmen off the bat, and we're gonna try and make as much as we can. Like, we could always use these, but I don't care enough to. Like, I'd rather, like, use them here and there, but not, like, a lot. They're kind of a last resort type of choice for the instas. I definitely think they work better as a last resort. Just need to get some merchantmen going. It's the least I can do. Because that will make me more money, which will mean I can get more up. Okay. And then I will, as soon as I get enough, Photo. Because I placed her down because she's useful to have down early. Come on. We're almost there. We're so dang close. Come on. Come on. And boom. Now I'll actually start making money quicker as I get some of these down. Hopefully the money stack up should be useful. We have leads to deal with soon, so I'm gonna do that just because we save on money with that. And then we actually can take care of this. Sorry I keep yawning. I don't mean to. Kind of just keeps happening. Come on. Okay. Like, they're making back their money quick enough. Come on. There we go. And then after I get this last one, look how close we are. Sorry. Gonna get faster firing on this one. Come on. And then... boom. Come on. I need him to focus on camos, and now since I'm hoping that giving him lead detection should help. I might need to sell some of it, but I'm hoping that'll help. Mm-hmm. Actually, it doesn't matter what I do. Bouncing bullet. Supply drop. Large caliber. Ba-chunk. I'm hoping this will help because... oh yeah, it does give lead balloon, but also shrapnel popping power is the main reason. And I'm hoping those two will help in this case. Okay. I could have probably gone bottom path with this, but... come on. supply drop is crazy. I mean, you would think, but it does get more shrapnel popping power. And it might have actually just helped me against the DDTs. Never underestimate the supply drop and bouncing bullets. They can really shred if you do it right. Okay. Come on. Damn it. It got rid of the DDTs. So if I actually go... Hey, Cruel. Just stopping by to... I'm guessing to make sure I hydrate. Okay. Let's see. I can start a merchant. Do I actually have a merchantman? I'm just curious now. No, I don't even have any going down that path. I was mainly just curious. You know, I've actually never really... I never look at, like, my snipers or anything. I have so many insta-monkeys I just don't use. Like the beast handler. Hope you sleep well, Cruel. Like, I don't need all of these. But I have so many of them. Like, I don't know why I do. I mean, I'll place this guy down since, yeah. But it's not going to really help much. I save a little money. I mean, it's only a 0-2-1-1. But I have so many random things. But that supply drop did help. I definitely think the merchantman strategy I was going for did help. I just need to be careful about it. Don't want to use too much for it. Once I get that first merchantman, it will slowly just catch up. Okay. Come on. I believe we get it around round 12, so at least we know, like, the time frame. And eventually I'll probably want to get rid of this for the sake of just ease, but then again, I don't know how much it's gonna matter. We'll just have to see. I'm just hoping that part does not matter. Because if it ends up mattering, well, not much I can do other than just get rid of it. Bum, 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 bum. Just throw the penguins into the pool. You know, penguins are so dang adorable, but they also smell absolutely awful. Like, if you've ever been to a zoo in, like, a penguin enclosure, they always smell so bad. I get why. I mean, they're animals. I mean, so are humans, but even then. Like, you know, the fact that that actually opens up a whole thing. Do you think these monkeys have zoos? Like, they have, like, pet penguins, pet, like, roadrunners, pet herons, and whatnot. Do you think they would have zoos? Or... Because now I'm starting to think of, like, the whole thing of, like, how the monkey world would work in terms of, like, that. Because zoos are really good for keeping, like, animals from going to extinction. I.e., look at pandas. So, would that... I mean, yeah, some of them literally do have pets. I'm just... Because I was just thinking about it, it's like, would they be in the zoo, or would they just be, like, as normal pets? Like, that you can find at a pet store? Because that's where it really turns, because you don't usually see, like... for example, you don't usually see dogs and cats at zoos unless they're being used as, like, dogs are used as therapy animals for some animals. Little fun fact for you there. Give me a metal jacket. Oh no, we lost 1 health. Anyway, but like, I definitely think there would be something about it. I don't know to what extent. Run is good. I mean, 1 health shouldn't kill me. I mean, worst case scenario, like, but it should be fine. What's the worst that happens? It's not like I'm gonna explode or anything. Or am I? Let's just hope that doesn't happen then. Either way, though, like, I definitely think this will be useful to get rid of now. I mean, that's on me, though, for forgetting about the leads. I mean, yeah, it happens. I do want Hot Shot on these because that'll leave the BAD with a burn. What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to think of what else could be useful. Deadly Precision is nice. But I'm also thinking about Supply Drop. Because either way, I'm going to be selling 2 of these Merchantmen. Favorite trades. I get better sell back on it, actually. And I'll make some more money. So I can sell back. And then I can sell that. Sell that. And then I want to set that to Crow's Nest so it can hit the DDTs as well. And then I have a little extra. Yeah! Hopefully that helps. I mean, it's definitely doing better. Because I always forget that these shoot little Moab elimination missiles. I will say, though, it is weird going into this without any form of, like, plan or anything like normal. There we go. Good old Supply Drop. Honestly, Supply Drop giving lead popping power is a freaking lifesaver. Exactly. That 001 boat clearly carried. 100%. True. It's just like those free dart monkeys at the beginning of those rounds. They carry you completely. Even if you don't upgrade them. They get thousands of pops. They save your ass. I mean, unironically, I've had that happen to me where they have saved my butt. So we have to beat a BAD. Well, I know a good way to do that. But first I'm going to do this. Okay, I have quite a few things. Monkey Sense, because I want to be able to... Yeah, because the Druid should take care of most of this easily. The Druid is just so powerful. Like, the amount of times they've buffed and nerfed the Druid is crazy to me. But then again, there's also the Spactory, which has been nerfed up the like so many times on its bottom path, yet still is strong. Like, of all the things, that's the one path you would think would be like, okay, the top path was yeah, perma-spike moment. Like, the top path was underpowered originally, I remember. Back in my day type stuff, when this came out, when Prince of Darkness was still Soul Link, I remember I used it to see what it would do, and I remember it selling all of my towers to keep me alive, and I'm just here like, that just made it worse. Like, oh my gosh. You know, if I didn't know better, I would say that they are making a Monkey City 2, because Monkey City is such a beloved game. in so many ways, but I don't know if they will. But I'd love to play another Monkey City. Like, I know it fits into that base builder thing, but I always liked how it worked. Plus, that's where we got the DDTs anyway, so... Like, I just liked how they did Monkey City quite a lot. Because it was one of those things where I could actually casually play Bloons a lot more than for, like, small periods. Instead of just doing these big rounds when I didn't have as much time. Really just made it a lot easier for me at times. Of course, now I have a little more time where I can actually play full-on, like, rounds, which is like, hell yeah. It's always nice when you actually get to do something like that. I think for DDTs, like, and whatnot, I'm gonna want to get a fire breather. I mean, I love this art that they do, and I really wish I could meet the artists behind it. Like, there's so much love I feel for the artists of this, of, like, the entirety of Ninja Kiwi's games. Like, the sheer amount of, like, life and personality put into each piece, just... Oh my gosh. It makes me so excited to see the different art pieces they're gonna have for the Desperado. Like... Because it's gonna be the first cowboy monkey we have, and, like, the closest we have to a quote-unquote cowboy monkey would be, Did I... Oh, wait, no. Oh, it's because I didn't pick any of the boomerangs. But, like, the closest thing we even have to a cowboy would be the bottom path boomerang, and it's not even a cowboy. Like, it's completely different from a cowboy. But it's the closest we really have. Until now. Because the Desperado is gonna be a cowboy. And if the leak is right, and it is another primary tower, that's awesome. Because it means they're giving some love to primary towers. And it would be something that, from what was said on the Steam page, it can give camo detection to towers with one of its abilities. That's gonna be useful. Like, I could totally see it being used to, like, really hit off some great 2-tower chimps. And, like, the thought of having a very, kind of mixed support / damage that's another low pierce, high damage is really cool. Because, honestly, since BTD 6, they've been hitting it off the track with monkeys. Like, honestly, they've just been whenever they add a new monkey, it's always insane. Like, I remember BTD 5, and I honestly thought the sub was added before BTD 5 sometimes. Hey, Random Chill Guy. Hope you're doing well today. But it's like, I've looked at some of those and I've just been like, oh, this looks cool. And then be like, wait a minute, that came out when? Like, literally. Like, I've played this game series since before it was a tower defense. And even I have moments of like, it's been how long? And I think that just says to, like, the sheer amount. And nice. Don't normally get 666. But it just shows how long the series has been around. And the fact that it took this long to get a cowboy monkey is crazy to me. But I'm really excited for June 18th because of it. Because, like, I remember, like, the wizard and whatnot being added. The boat. And then we finally got our third water tower, in quotations, with the heroes, with Pat Fusty, but it was amphibious. But then we got our third water tower, full, like, water tower that wasn't a hero. And the first amphibious tower that wasn't a hero with the mermonkey. Like, I find that so cool that we ended up getting that after all this time. I think it was a really good step. And I'm curious to see what other ideas they have, because we know they do. I mean, it's the fact they randomly shadow dropped just the frickin'. I looked away for just 1 second too long. But it's the fact they just outright shadow dropped the frickin' Desperado, just like, oh yeah, surprise. Like, no context. It was just a small little clip on YouTube Shorts that like popped up on my feed when I was pulling it up for work, because I always pull up YouTube to put on a video in the background. And I see that and I was like, what is this? And then just boom. Surprise, new monkey. And it's like, holy shit. Like, it catches you so off guard sometimes. But it makes me really excited for what else, because we know we're getting cowboy hat balloons and stuff. And seeing it's going to be in an update where we can unlock it and whatnot, I would not be surprised if we see like a new map or something as well, because it always has come with a new map or something. But if it doesn't this time, it would be interesting to see, because it's rare I don't think they do that, but you never know. I mean, they did kind of just spring this on us out of nowhere. Next thing we know, they just surprise us like, surprise, new Paragon as well. Because that's what Ninja Kiwi sometimes does, is just, surprise! And honestly, I gotta give them credit where credit's due for that. It's insane how they can just surprise the community so easily. Like, with the last one, people were like, oh, it's going to be a support. It's going to be this. No one expected it to be the freaking tack shooter when the tack shooter came out. And then the Spike Factory was like a complete left field. Because people were like, well, that was the one people like had the most trouble figuring out how they would balance. And now it's the most broken Paragon because it's actually like really good, but also expensive. I mean, it just says a lot, though, about the Paragons as a whole. I mean, the amount of work that goes into designing stuff, it makes you wonder how long they've been designing the Desperado. Because, like, I've spent years designing stuff in the past, so I can only imagine they've been designing it for a long time. I know, with the early games and whatnot, I mean, when it was still balloons and it was just the original balloons pop with the monkey and the dart, it was like, at least that was understandable. Then there was the Flappy Bird clone where it was holding on to the Moab and whatnot, trying to catch up to Evil Monkey, who stole his bride. And it's like, I actually do kind of find it funny Evil Monkey has canonically stayed around with like some of their other games. But it also is interesting to me that the amount of work they put into some of this stuff, like Card Storm and whatnot. I've been meaning to play Card Storm. I've never played it, but I've heard it's good. And I do like myself a good card game. But the fact they have put so much work into making heroes specifically for like Card Storm and battles that are specific to those games is so cool to me. Like, seeing developers that like are considered indie compared to like AAA, which, yeah, I mean, seeing a lot of these games, especially that I remember first blossoming back in the day with all the companies that have appeared, disappeared, etc. It's nice seeing the few that have actually like stayed to their caring about their community, like Ninja Kiwi and Relogic. And I like the amount of feedback they take in, as well as like the amount of ideas they're willing to be like, with a lot of the community being interested in the idea of this, we decided to make something related to it. It's like, that's awesome. Because I can imagine making a water-based tower was difficult. Like, after they had done the boat in the sub, the boat becomes an aircraft carrier for one of its upgrades. Then you have the pirate ship. And then when they updated, they were like, okay, we can turn it into the merchant then. It's another type of ship we haven't gotten to. And then you have like some of the other stuff. And I imagine it stacks up pretty dang like a long list for them. Because the sub fills in all the sub roles, as well as like semi-sub, semi-boat roles. I mean, because it's hard to do fish, but the fact that they went with the mermonkey was such a good idea. Because that's one of the things they do stick to, is everything is a monkey. Even in the Spike Factory, there's a monkey. Like, I do find that cool, but it's also just interesting to think about for me, because it's like, oh yeah, like all this stuff you see here, the amount of care and effort that goes into it is like insane. Because I know when BTD 6 first came out and I first saw it, I remember just being so excited, but also like thrown off by the 3D aspect of it. But now, years later, I've grown to love this game so much more than BTD 5 personally. Like, I still have a fondness for BTD 5, but this has always been above it for me, especially more recently, because it's just, they've did so many quality of life things, and they upgraded it in so many ways I never thought possible. Like 3-tier upgrades with 5 tiers each. Because I remember back when it was just, oh yes, 1 upgrade, 2 upgrade, done. And now it's completely changed. For the better, honestly. I think it was an overall good change. And I'm glad that they have put that type of work into making those types of changes. Because, like, okay, it should pop. I am surprised it didn't pop. Oh, it didn't have monkey sense. I was like, why is it not attacking the DDT? It's because I forgot to put monkey sense on it. Of course. I'm just gonna do that. Okay. Yeah, like, I have so little, like, in the things I have the least of are the farms and boats, it seems. But I have so many dang beast handlers. I like the beast handler though. I do like that they tried with the roguelike with Legends. I think they did it really well. Like, it still has its flaws, but I think they did really well with Legends. And I'm so glad that they actually took that risk. I mean, like, there's so many people I'd love to meet from the Ninja Kiwi team. Because the amount of, like, effort put into the art and music alone, but also just all of the stuff in general. Because we know, like, COVID hit everyone hard. Like, because of just how it just forced so many people into their houses and whatnot, kind of trapped up. And we know how it affected Ninja Kiwi, which is a more, like, close-net company. I'm honestly glad that even through the pandemic, they still worked as hard as they could and still kept producing and still kept, like, pretty transparent on, like, some of the issues. I mean, they even, like, will release on their YouTube channel, like, they did a Q&A thing where they were answering random questions at one point. And I just find that so interesting to watch, because you look at some companies now, I won't name any specific AAA company names, that hike up prices and don't listen to the consumer and then wonder why they stop selling as much. Or we'll see a bunch of sales from people who like really remember them and like, oh, this was part of my childhood, etc. But especially now, it's like there's so much of that that is completely changed with indie devs and like smaller dev groups and dev teams, where it's like you see AAA games falling, but you see a growth in a lot of games like this. Because I've noticed there's like and it could just be pure chance, but it's something I've noticed is I've been seeing a lot more balloons videos coming out that used to not. Like, there's been like another resurgence for balloons recently from the looks of it. And that could be complete chance. But it's nice whenever you see those little resurgences of like smaller games or like smaller companies in comparison that listen to their communities and stuff. I mean, there's so many games out there that I've looked at, some of which have been really interesting, others not so much, that I've wanted to play. But I love looking at like some of the smaller studio ones in particular. One of which I saw a long while back, and I just completely forgot about it until recently, when I just saw a video of it pop up randomly, and it was Topple Tactics. And I don't know how much it's changed in the time since I remember it being released. I mean, another one I can think of, off top of my head, is like Don't Starve Together. That's another one that has changed so much from the original Don't Starve. I mean, you have so many different things, and honestly, I'm excited to see what comes of it. Because you never really know. I know with Don't Starve in particular, I'm mainly curious about, okay, if we're gonna have more Don't Starve stuff come out, Lord knows. But when it was still coming out, I remember just being like, holy crap, they're adding so much. I mean, you can take one look at like the Terraria devs as a great example of sometimes they just never stop updating. They just get too distracted and are like, oh, but we could add this too. This will be the final update. No, this will be the final update. But then you have like series like with PopCap when they were taken over by EA, Plants vs. Zombies really just fell off. I mean, I like Plants vs. Zombies too. I think it was I definitely think if it weren't for the microtransactions and whatnot, it would be better. Like, you could tell the EA-ification, but like the main story and stuff was nice. But there was so much more like possibilities that they really just missed out on. And it would be nice to see like more stuff like that where companies like are willing to put more effort into their games for the bigger companies. Like the original Plants vs. Zombies when it first came out. And then you have like so much else. I mean, especially with the tower defense drama that happened like years back when tower defense was trademarked and you couldn't use tower defense legally. Like, it was a huge issue. And it was like, but why? Why trademark tower defense? I don't care. That's where I'm at. I don't care if I restart like that. Just gonna do this. If I start out early with this, But it's back when they first trademarked it, and that was around the time Balloons changed to Balloons TD, for example. It's like the amount of tower defenses that we just never got to see because of that is sad. But it also makes me curious of like, if that never happened, where would you be? Same thing with like certain things and like trademark stuff with video games. Because the Nemesis system, for example, getting trademarked and like fully getting all the patents with it. I would have loved to see how people expanded on that. Because I feel like that could have been expanded on really well. Especially in the future. It really just depends. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I would love to see how it would have gotten expanded on, but sometimes you aren't so lucky. Come on. Okay. Of course it didn't work. Okay. I'm gonna put Sada here. And I'm gonna do this. That should hopefully help. But I do like tower defense games, and there are some really cool ones I've seen out there. Like, there was one I saw recommended on Steam, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was basically like tower defense, but Tetrisified, and you basically placed it down, these big like Tetris pieces, and you could place your towers on top of them, and it was also mixed with a roguelike, so you could basically add like certain additions to pieces, certain towers, etc. And like they all had different effects and whatnot. And with it, you would basically dictate how they would move around to get to your tower or your main heart, which was a campfire. Like, it looked really cool. I'm honestly like excited to see what other innovations come from these types of games and whatnot, because there's a lot of innovation that could be made off that alone. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, there's so many games out there at this point. So many ideas out there. Like, nothing is going to be quote unquote original. At least in the sense of like first ideas. But it's nice seeing how people have taken certain ideas and just rolled with it to a way that's just like, oh, this is awesome, or oh, this is pretty interesting. Like, I think that's a really fun way that they've done it, and it makes me really excited to see where some of them do end up. I know one of the games I've been meaning to play that I've heard so much good about is like Hat in Time. I have no idea what that game is about much, like, other than just Hat in Time, and like it's very well liked, probably for pretty good reason. I mean, if you're gonna get like overwhelmingly like positive reviews, it's like, okay, that says something. I mean, there's a lot of games on my list of games that I want to play that I've had in my library as well, like Cuphead. I like touched it once, and I just never went back because I just never found the time to do it. So it's like, I should probably play that one on stream. Same thing with when I first played Ori and the Blind Forest and whatnot. Peakest game, Minesweeper. I used to be good at Minesweeper, but over time I just haven't played it in so long. I'd have to remember the rules. But I definitely want to play Minesweeper again. It's been so long. Like, I know, like, the basics of Minesweeper, but I remember playing on the old computer, just, oh my gosh. Back when computers would come with those mouse testers and whatnot, and you'd have to replace the little bit in the mouse. Back when the PC was just a box. Like, giant box. Like, oh my gosh, the size of these boxes. I mean, I think my dad put it best when he said, every year they get smaller and smaller. Yet my knowledge seems to get bigger and bigger. Because you just learn so much about these new systems. Like, the GPU, for example, is compared to, like, what I used to see, is so much smaller compared to, like, what it used to be. Or, for example, the PC cases. You can fit so much in smaller cases now that it's kind of crazy. I mean, you have literal computers like that can fit in the palm of your hand. Literal, like, technological objects. Like, it's so crazy to me how much it's changed. I mean, it's just awesome. And seeing how people have, like, for example, the classic, can it run Doom? Like, I've seen people do so much with that. I certainly will hydrate. It's always good to stay hydrated, especially on a stormy day like this. But brain just completely brain farted there. Oh yeah. But I would love to see more of that type of stuff where it's like all of this cool stuff. I love seeing those types of just changes, but also like people running older games just like, but can it run Doom? And just running Doom on it for no other reason other than why not? Like, that's great. I mean, I literally saw someone make a full, like, I've seen so many people with cosplay like LEDs that they were like, I've even seen people turn those like, oh yeah, you can run Doom on my freaking face type thing. And it's like, wait, what? I can do what on your face? And then it's just like, oh yeah, this person's face runs Doom now. Like, it just boggles my mind. But it definitely doesn't boggle my mind as much as how dumb people can be with computer parts. So, I've had times where my dad will just outright, like, talk to me about stuff he witnesses at work. Because he works as IT. And he's like, please, do not ever become this dumb. Okay, why? Okay, so I need a way to deal with all of those more efficiently, meaning I need more peers. Actually, if I put this here, but like, it's just the amount of dumb things. And one I have mentioned on stream before is the cooling port issue, where a woman called in like, I can't get my PC cooling to work. So my dad was helping them. Turns out, she thought you had to warm it up. Oh yeah, I always forget about the ball of lightning druid. Holy crap. It's the one path I always forget exists. But like, I definitely will need to sell for it, but I remember back when he was telling me about it, the woman basically put the PC cooling system in the microwave to warm it up because she thought she had to warm it up to make it work. The amount of stupidity of people that IT people have told me about worries me. Like, you're telling me that this person right here, this person who works for insert thing related to government, thought you had to do what? Like, the thought of it just breaks my mind sometimes. Because it's like, why? Bow now, 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 now. But it's like, I've seen my fair share of stupidity, but then there's that, and you're just here like, what the fuck? Like, that's what it feels like. We are popping it a little faster. Doon 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 doon. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my god, I forgot it's a giant snowball. I completely forgot that my ball of lightning is a giant snowball. Okay, this one is chimps. Oh boy. This one's gonna be a pain in the ass. Because we can't make money. Okay, so I want to put Sada here. I want to get a destroyer in. And then a sniper. I mean, fair. It is, I wouldn't say long AF map, but it's definitely a longer map. It just can be a pain in the ass at times. I'm mainly worried about, like, the chimps aspect of it, of not being able to sell. Otherwise, I'm not too worried about this one. It's mainly just the chimps aspect. Honestly, I feel like they missed out with making it so the tack paragon didn't shoot out snowflakes and stuff if you had the icicle tacks. Because the dart monkeys want... Same thing with, like, other paragons. I'd love to see them actually get their effects. Because, like, the dart monkey, I believe, is the only one to really get it. Like, when the things explode out, they turn into, like, snowballs or pumpkins, depending what you have. Just random things I notice. Okay, that I want to go for camo. But this should help. It's honestly hilarious to me, though. The amount of, like... Like, it's both hilarious and terrifying to think that there are people out there who keep us living like doctors and whatnot, who don't understand that it's not a good idea to do certain things with computer parts. But then you also got to remember the fact that there's also engineers and whatnot out there that don't understand how to cook, and it's like, it's just one of those weird skill set things. But it's also like, you would think there would also be some common sense with some of it. I mean, I think about a lot of the random stuff that I've learned from all my grandparents and whatnot. Like, I've learned some weird ass crap from my family. I mean, when I was really young and whatnot, my grandpa taught me how to gamble. Like, I'm quite sure most kids did not learn how to gamble from their grandfather. If at all. Like, because he taught me how to play poker and rummy at, like, before I was even 10. I actually got really good at rummy. He also had some very obvious tells when it came to poker. He also really hated Uno. But his wife loved Uno. Um, I remember my grandma coming over for a holiday and we played Uno Flip. She was confused. Gotta start 'em young. Exactly. But she played Uno Flip with us because it was like, okay. She had a little trouble understanding at first, but really enjoyed it because the pettiness that comes with like the +1. Like my mom was almost out and my grandma was like, oh crap. Well, anyways. And she +5'd me and I had another +5 and I just went, sorry mom, you gotta draw 10. And the pure look of hatred was just magnificent. Just magnificent. Just, oh my lord. I love stuff like that. It's always so funny. I really do enjoy it though. Just being able to spend time with family and do that type of stuff. 'Cause I'm glad I have a family that allows me to do that type of stuff and whatnot. Normally I wouldn't get supply drop, but it's the fact it also gives me lead balloon popping power. Which is something I need badly. And then I want to put an engineer here with that. Larger surface area, and then deconstruction. I do like how the sentries do get affected by stuff like deconstruction. Yay! We made $0. I do like how it's because of how I have my up. Oh my god! I did not know it was fortified this time. I mean, probably don't have enough damage. Yeah, I probably don't. I didn't realize it was fortified for this one. So that's kind of on me. I mean, the destroyer definitely helps, but it's not gonna save my ass. I mean, I went into this blind, no plans or anything for any of the maps for once. So, like, this was actually me going in with no plan. I'm surprised I've made it this far, in all honesty. I mean, it's still got to go around the full circle. So we never know. I'm hoping that that engineer helped even a little. And dead. Yeah, that was kind of expected. Okay, now that I know that, I know what I'm gonna do. No, I had camo. I had I had like 2 camo. I just didn't have a lot of it. So what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna want to put this here. I'm making a camo destroyer. And then over here, I will put a wall of fire, which I will make camo. Your boat can... Yeah, I know. The only boat that could was the one I added. But it didn't have DDT popping power. So, because my original destroyer didn't have that. And I can't sell, so... Yay. Hopefully this, with the aircraft carrier, should allow me to actually hit it. Is my hope. I know I'm investing a lot of money into it, but I feel like it'll be worth it. Because I can't really remove camo from things without the ninja, but even then, with it only being DDTs, I'm just kind of like, maybe? Also, ever since I started doing the jukebox to remix and like adding more songs, I've actually listened to a lot more Balloons music than I originally did. So I've actually gotten to hear a lot of like good remixes from this, and honestly, there's some I wish were on this that aren't, that are part of the tracks. Like each boss balloon has its own track, but in the jukebox it doesn't seem to be that way. Because if you've ever heard Phase's theme, I love Phase's theme. It's just oddly, it fits so perfectly, but just mwah for me. I also am curious if they'll ever add Lich to Legends. That'd be fun, but I can see why they might not. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum 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 ba da ba da bum. I am hoping that getting an aircraft carrier will help here. There's no guarantee it will, but you never know. It might not. Never know till you try. I mean, it is crazy to me, like, that they brought tar pits back from BTD 5 in a form. Like, it still just boggles my mind. I mean, it's impossible in chimps, but it's just cool that it's even an Easter egg in the first place. Like, there's so many little Easter eggs on these maps, like being able to click these and it like spouts a little water like a splash, or like, it's just crazy the amount of love and care that go into some of these maps. Honestly, if some of those AAA studios put even an ounce of that into some of their games, they would be more lively. Just saying. I mean, in all honesty, the only reason I ever debated getting any other, like getting a console for anything is like if I were to stream games from it. Otherwise, I don't think I would buy them. Like, if I didn't need to, if like I could do it through my Switch Lite that I've had that was gifted to me from my Grammy, I would just stream some like Pokemon or something and do shiny hunting like once in a while. I think that'd be fun, but who knows? And honestly, I've debated it. I just am like, I really don't know if I'll ever end up getting a Switch or Switch 2. Even if I did, though, it would just be one of those things of, I'd probably wait until a lot later into their life cycle, like I normally do. I mean, because if I were to buy a Switch, it would be like, there's the Switch 2, and it's like, I mean, it is crazy, though. Like, there is a Balloons for Netflix, for example. I wonder if someone's actually beat any of the stuff on Balloons Netflix. I wonder if that even still exists. Now I'm curious if it does. Because if it does, that's awesome. If not, sad. Hopefully... Okay, it's damaging a lot faster. It actually has a bandage. It has 2 bandages and it hasn't left the first row. Okay, yeah, this is looking better. Hopefully those 200 dart monkeys will do a lot. I mean, they're holding the line for us. they're going to make the biggest difference. Watch them actually save our asses. That'd actually be 10 times funnier. There we go. DDT's down. Now we just need to take out the Moabs. Oh, we were really close. Good thing I can retry last round. Meaning I can actually... I know this may sound crazy, but... What if I just... did that? Because that might actually be able to help against that final bit. Because, yeah, we definitely can do this. Those planes are helping a lot. Okay. Come on. We're doing a little less damage, but that's okay. We're still dealing, like, a good amount. I'm mainly worried about the DDTs. Because I know part of this also depends on where the planes are. Oh yeah, I definitely think I can afford it mid-round. I'm just keeping an eye on this thing. I definitely should be able to afford it mid-round. I'm like keeping my eyes peeled though on this. I'm just gonna have to repeatedly click this, and I'm gonna save my leaping swords. There we go, we got Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is so damn useful. Sometimes you just gotta rely on the classics. Okay. Let's do this shit. Okay, we start out with a good amount. I want for here. We need to make so much money here. That's why I'm going for the most valuable one. Oh yeah, I saw the 600% Moab health. That's why I'm doing something specific here. Hot shots, more tax, even more tax. I am going for a crazy one on this one. I need jungle drums. I'm going for a primary mentoring with this. And then I'm going to go for the, as much as I can with Ring of Fire and whatnot. That's the plan, at least. Radar scanner. Because I don't know if I'll make enough for a central market, but... Okay. I mean, you never know. Because these guys are about to pay themselves off. I was mainly seeing if I could get enough for one thing, but... My other idea is this. If I can get an overdrive is my main thought. DDTs are going to be a big issue, though. And that's why I'm debating... Because the Ring of Fire was more of a temporary thing, but... If I sell all of those, okay. Okay. I need it set to smart. Then I need deadly spikes. Welcome on in, Timothy. And I would say they are till round 90, but they're actually till round 40 because this is the BAD Odyssey. And we need to deal with the 3 DDTs that come out of this fucker. That's the plan. Yep, custom rounds. It's gonna suck. I'm basically saving up for perma spike. I'm hoping that'll, like, really knock out those DDTs. Because I'm not worried about leads, because we can take out leads with this. Because we've been building up our pile. Do I want to get a central market? I don't think I make the money back fast enough is the issue. And I want to get... there's so many things I want to get. Because if I sell all of these, I get 15k. Oh, the plan is to get the tax zone. But that is good to know. I'm gonna do a permaspike tax zone and see how that goes. Because the permaspike should be able to take care of the DDTs with white hot. But come on. Perma spike with no prep time, yeah. Okay. We're almost there. There we go. No, I'm just short. I think it's worth it in this case because then I can just... Yeah, it being fortified is not what I expected, so yeah. Yeah, I did not deal as much as I was hoping. Now that I know it's fortified, that helps. Okay, so now I know. It gives me some time to do this. If I do 2 of these and focus in on making some money through Central Market, that might be worth it. Aha. I just had an idea pop into my brain. I need to see how much this is. Eesh. I'm thinking about Moab Shredder. Because embrittlement will be useful if I get it. Because that will make it deal more damage to the Moabs. Okay. I just need enough for the central market. Because that's going to make a huge change in terms of, like, income. Come on. We're, like, really close to this. Oh, shit. Yeah, I completely forgot about banks' existence. I always forget banks exist. Like, in all honesty, I always forget banks exist in this game. Oh, yeah, I forgot this. Yeah, I'm gonna restart. That was really badly placed. I don't know if I'll need the IMF loan, but I do have an idea. And I think you can kind of guess what I'm gonna do with this. About to make this a lot cheaper for myself. You know, I probably could have started with that too for the banks. Just need monkey commerce. Okay. Let's see. I'm probably gonna wanna do this. Because I could stack this up quite a bit, but I'm not too worried about stacking it up too much. I'm getting a crossbow. Okay, we have made a good chunk. I believe it's like 6 something. And collect from that. Do that. And then I need this. And what I'm gonna do is that get deep freeze. Then I can go for bigger radius. Grow blocker. Because I'm going to want jungle drums on this. And then I'm going to want a MIB. Okay. Because an MIB should do pretty nicely. But I mainly want jungle. Actually, jungle drums and primary training could be good. Range, pierce, projectile speed. Range and cooldowns. Let's do that then. I really didn't need to get grow blocker, but... Okay. I could sell those. And get crossbow master. And There we go. That should do a lot. I'm hoping it does help. Okay. Okay, I'm taking that. Because what I'm gonna do over here and then larger radius refreeze. I want the larger radius over here. Intense monkey sense. Then I want embrittlement. This is a difficult one, but I got some ideas. It's just gonna take some time. I want to make sure I get stuff ready before the Moab. Well, BAD instead. Because yeah, it doesn't help on the Summon Phoenix, but I'm not really too worried about Summon Phoenix. Boom. Boom. Then I can get that. Mentoring. And for the sake of a little extra damage, that. And that. Come on. This is a difficult one. I mean, this is just me trying whatever comes up into my brain. What only bringing 3 farms does. I mean, yeah. Yeah, like, they're literally only usable on the last island. That's why I didn't bring more. I need Sada. Like, if it weren't for the fact that they're only usable on the last island, I might have grabbed more. Oh my god, I completely forgot about double discount. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, don't cross pass them? Cross pass. Cross path, I mean. What am I doing? I can do this. Come on. Okay. There we go. Then I can use my free dart monkey. Go, free dart monkey, you got this! And I'll need to let them accrue a bit. Go, dart monkey, you got this! Your demand! Enhanced eyesight. Okay. I'll put Sada here. Okay. Now how am I gonna take care of this? If I get a pirate lord, I can at least take out what comes out. But I mean, okay. Crow's Nest, Grape Shot. Just gotta keep an eye on those. Hot Shot. I mean, even then, it does do a good amount of Moab damage. That's why I was like, you know, that might not be the worst idea, because it does do like Moab damage. Oh my god, I just had a great idea. Because another thing I could get with it is the aircraft carriers, tier 5. Okay. It's almost full. It should be full at the end of this round. I'm doing this over the Grape Shot for a few reasons. Because carrier flagship attack speed of all water-based monkeys. Yeah, that's only pirates, but that's useful. Do, 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 do. Keep an eye on those as well. We're gonna get 2 more carriers. I mean, I'm just going with what I have. I never really thought about farms when doing this. Destroyer. Okay. Trust the process moment. Yeah. Just trust the process. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Crossbow master. Oh my lord. It does have damage on it. I did deal like a good bit of damage to it. Okay, let's look at this, how the best way I can do this. Increase production. Let's see, do I have anything useful in here? Just thinking of what could be useful here. Of all of the... Wait a minute. This might be the most genius idea. Do, do, do. Okay. I'm hoping this works. Come on. Because that druid is unironically making me a good chunk of money. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Come on. I'm gonna try and get a spike storm. I think you can guess what I'm doing. I'm hoping that'll help, like, make up some of the money. Huh. Okay, I don't have farmers, so I'll just have to collect it myself. Um, I am going full out with this one. Oh my lord. I am like so nervous. Because I'm gonna have to do some huge sells. I want Elite Sniper for the fact that it does attack quicker, but also then I can... This guy's fine. Okay. I'm getting down loads of these. I could time slow it. I have so many of these. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't have a boat. Oh my god. The elite snipers for the win. Oh my gosh, those elite snipe. I got a sun temple. Holy crap. I got a sun temple for that. I'm just gonna quickly because I've been buying these tracks to just add to our jukebox at this point. Oh yeah, that Carpet of Spikes was definitely the best one here. Okay, we need to beat this on chimps. I mean, Moab mines don't do that much, I don't believe. So, I mean, I just, like, if I looked at my, if I could look at my powers, I'd kind of show, I just do not have a lot. I'm willing to turn on auto start for this now. Do. I do. Wait, really? I never knew that, actually. I didn't realize they actually did it that they did 5,010 times. I only thought it was a once-off. I didn't realize it was 10 times. The more you know. I honestly just, I've used so few of them that I've never really realized. Like, there was a point I had like a good 100 of them, and then my friend and I just put a bunch on a map with a bunch of like power-ups and whatnot, and lagged the game so badly when we started the round that like it just crashed for both of us. But I usually don't, like, outside of that type of stuff, I don't normally use like those types of powers. Like, I haven't used a single energy totem. I'm honestly surprised I haven't gotten more energy totems by complete chance. But sometimes you just don't get them. I've gotten a lot of Moab mines, though. Not that I use them, usually. But I've always found, like, I've used Energizing Totem once, and it was like, oh, that's useless. I want to get Admiral down. Because Admiral will help. Because Admiral Brickle's ability is what I'm basically gunning for here. And it's better to get her down earlier. I think I'm going to put her here. Just so her mines stay over here, preferably. While I take care of this. Because I'm thinking about this. I definitely plan to try and get the sub-commander stuff. But I might also do a little in the Mermonkey as well for the Pierce. Nice. Honestly, I'm glad that, like, the Beast Handler still has its uses. Like, it's definitely the... It's kind of like the, redheaded stepchild, if you've ever heard that saying, of the, towers. Like, my dad uses that saying all the time. I honestly don't know where it comes from. But, like, the Beast Handler has so much going for it. It's just the fact that its cross paths don't work together. I feel like it'd be so cool if the bottom path, once you got the Falcon with camo detection, like, as long as you're in range of anything that also has a Falcon that has been merged with it, like the other thing you have, be it the Orca path or the T-Rex path, would also gain it. I think that'd be really useful. It'd also make the Beast Handler a bit more viable. Which is a shame, but I think it definitely helps. Airburst. Then I want to get triple guns. I still can't get over the music. Like, I feel like if the music writers and whatnot of Bloons had a field day where they could just write whatever they wanted for any sort of scenario, I feel like we'd get some of the most banger tracks of like all Bloons history. I could totally see that happening. Just like no restrictions, just like this is what some monkeys might want to listen to type crap. You never know. Because I could see it. Because we know they have their own language with Monklish. We know they have their own music, their own types of stuff. Honestly, if I were to try bananas from any game, it would be from Bloons. Because from what has been mentioned, they have like some of the best bananas and make loads of good banana stuff. Tim Haywood. Yeah, I honestly could not remember his name off the top of my head. Like, my brain just could not. But then again, we all have those types of moments. Anyway. But, like, I definitely think there's a lot that could be done just from how Bloons' universe works. Like, if I were to get stuck in one video game world, I feel like Bloons would be one of the few that would actually be, like, good. Because, while yes, the Bloons are dangerous, there's a good chance the monkeys would want to know more about you as a person. They'd probably see you as, like, the god, one of their, because our clicker and stuff, they see as, like, an all-knowing god that, like, knows what to do. So, would they, if you just mention, like, anything about that, they'd probably worship you as a god. Like, it is crazy to think about. It's just insane to me. Yeah, the cursor. I sometimes just call it the mouse. I mean, there's a lot of weird things with different names depending on where you're from. Like, Jesus Christ, the amount of different variants I've heard of so many things. But I've heard this called the cursor, called the mouse, the cursor, the clicker, the pointer. I've heard it called so many things. I just go with what I'm used to calling it. Or, like, we'll switch between here and there. That's usually what I do. Okay. And then, because I'm gonna go for first strike capabilities just because I want to go for the preemptive strike. I think that'll be useful. Good thing I didn't need it. But I mainly have the ability with Brickle in case I need it. because that's what I'm mainly worried about after we get to certain rounds. I definitely think preemptive strike will be the best option for this, just because it will deal with all those DDTs and whatnot. Take care of a lot for us. I wonder if you could learn magic from, like, their universe. Like, if you went into a magic universe and whatnot and learn magic, I wonder if you would still have that knowledge when coming back and be able to do it or not. I mean, it's more of the fact that they said that they see it as a higher being that, like, knows what to do, and usually higher beings are gods or godlike. That's the only reason I even mention it like that. But I mean, they definitely would. I mean, it would be interesting because it depends. I wonder if, like, because if you could take anything back from the monkey world, I would definitely want to take back their recipes. Like, that'd be awesome. Be able to make some really good banana stuff. I could make the meanest banana bread. So mean it would make the competition look just awful. After all, they must have perfected the banana with how much they use it and stuff. Ooh, a banana bread pudding? Oh, that sounds nice. God, the thought of banana bread pudding is so nice. Now I kind of want to make some bread pudding. You know, if I didn't have work later, I would definitely make some bread pudding later. It's one of those things where it's like, shit, now I want to make this. Another thing I want to do is make homemade edible cookie dough. Like, yeah, all cookie dough is edible, but I mainly mean the stuff you can eat without worrying of salmonella. I mean, they also did mention that they are comfortable in their spots, and that's why they don't walk as well. I mean, you also got to think about, like, limitations with that, too. I mean, does that mean there's also non-believer monkeys that don't believe in gods? Because if so, I mean, example one, right, literally here, frickin' like, it's just a thought process of where they would consider you as, because, I mean, it's not like you can do anything to them that hurts them, just annoy them. But, like, because even if you sell them, they're fine. You can't really, like, negatively affect them. So, it really depends how much they would truly be willing to. Because if you can't negatively affect them, I mean, inevitably that it would be used against them. But this is more of just me thinking more on the terms of, like, writing a god. And, like, how certain things would, with people, would work. I mean, it's more of just the thought process behind it. I mean, even then, God's personalities usually are, like, especially, like, take Roman and Greek mythology, for example. With their versions of their gods, like, they're basically, if you put their personalities and whatnot into their basics, comparing them to, like, what they're based for, like Poseidon being the sea and whatnot, they all have those types of personalities that are related to those things. Like Zeus is a terrifying storm, brutal yet has an ending to it. Like, there's definitely that kind of mix into it. Cool. She did say fire when ready, so I just... Badom? Once we get preemptive strike, we won't have to worry as much about Moabs. But I'm definitely going to want to be careful, because 63 is coming up. And I am worried about 63. Because 63 is a killer. A very big one, in fact. Okay. Moabs are doing alright. I definitely need to, like... There. Balloon Jitsu should hopefully help a bit. Because I don't want to set myself too far behind, but I'm also like, I don't want to die. Okay. There we go. Hopefully that'll help a bit. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Oh, wow. We are doing a lot. Just not enough. Okay, we did. Just barely, but we can do this. Yeah, with that, we were easily able to take that part out. And this final one should not be bad. Because I should have this back now. Perfect. So I should be producing enough of those bombs to at least get rid of some of the stuff. And the rest of this will be taken care of. Perfect! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum-bum. Holy crap, that did a lot more area of effect than I remember. But I might just be crazy. I don't feel like it ever has done that much AoE before. Though I could just be going crazy. I have an idea. It's not a smart idea, but it's an idea. I could forgo the preemptive strike, but... and make this a little less safe for me. But I feel like it might not be worth it. Boom. Bum ba bum ba 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 ba. Ba ba da 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 bum. Oop. Actually pressed escape at the same time. I do that quite a lot more than I mean to. I always try to drag it out of the ability thing instead. I don't know why I keep doing it, because I know it doesn't do that, but it's just my brain auto doing it. Played too many of other games, I guess. At least we can easily take care of the normal Moabs, but... Definitely need to get that preemptive soon. Okay. There goes those. Yeah, we're definitely, like, going through these pretty well. That Mega Mine just absolutely bodied them. Ugh. About to get preemptive strike. Cool. That's gonna help a lot. You know, I actually have been planning to do a few things with my balloons stuff and whatnot. I know if I do decide to black border every map and whatnot, I'm gonna need like specific strategies that I have to use for like the expert ones. I don't know if I'll ever do that or not, but I definitely want to black border more after this one. I really have enjoyed doing the black bordering. It's definitely gotten me to try more things in this game, because I never really used to care about the black bordering. Just never was a thing that I cared a lot about. But it's like, I've already black bordered. This would be like black bordering all the easy maps for me at this point. So I'm just kind of like, I mean, I might as well. Because, like, I used to do quite a few black borders, but I just never finished it. And then new maps get added and whatnot, and it just stacks up. But I definitely want to... I'm definitely thinking about doing more black bordering of things. I think it would be fun. And there we go. I could try to save up for Sub Commander. That would actually be pretty nice. Piercing damage is useful. But I do also want to do this. Cool. It is getting the Abyssal Warrior buff. What other buffs can I give this? There's Energizer, Sub Commander, Village. Alchemist. Give it stronger so it lasts a little longer. There we go. That should hopefully help. Like, it's gonna run out of its acid part quicker, but should keep it up. Okay. Prepare the mines. Throws out a mega mine and just blows everything up. God, I love the Mermonkey so much. There's just something so nice about how the Mermonkey looks. It's just hard not to like them for me. They're just so dang cool. Let's get that Sub Commander. While in radius, monkey's ability cooldowns are halved. I mean, I'm not too worried about the halving of like ability cooldowns as much as like damage and pierce would be better. Do 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 bum. Yeah, I'm gonna get the sub commander first. The fact that preemptive strike, first strike ability can deal so much damage is so nice. That Murmonkey is doing God's work. I might as well get a Monkey Intelligence Bureau so they can pop everything. Then get a call to arms. Do I need to add it? No. Am I going to? Yeah. I mean, thinking about it, I really could just completely, like, buff it out of the wazoo. I just don't think it's worth it, though, to buff it too much more. In fact, I think it might just be... I don't want it to be in range of that is the issue. Okay. There we go. Oh, this round's gonna be easy. And we'll add another. Perfect. Now we just have an army. And I can always use that ability and just even more chaos. Jeez. Oh, and there goes a bunch of Moabs and DDTs. Anyways, now that Chimps mode's done. Da-da-da-dun. Yeah, because I have a few of the intermediate black borders. Which one should we do first? Which one should we do first? Because we've already done that. We've already done balanced. Was I playing a Chimps game on this and didn't like left it? I honestly don't remember this. I was using Wolf Pack Quincy. I really don't remember this or why I set this up like this. Yeah, like, that was just an inevitable loss. Let's do encrypted. And I brought Brickle with me. Oops. Anyways. This is a perfect map for the Juggernaut. And longer range. Then I'll need enhanced eyesight. I mean, as long as we can easily get a few of these done, we should be fine. It's always hard to choose which one you want to do. I just think Encrypted might be the better one to do first. We'll just do them in kind of like a every other type order, I guess. Or we could just try and get each of them done on easy first. So like we just go quick through each of them on easy for each. Get all the easies done, all of the primary only, like all of the easy category. So easy, primary only, deflation. I think that's actually what we should do. We should do it, each of them like that. And then we'll go to the medium, and then the hard. Hard. And then we'll do Impoppable and Chimps last. Because those are the long ones that take a long time. And then we can, like, mark off certain bits and pieces, like, okay, this is finished, this is finished, this is finished, and this is finished. Because, like, if you go far enough into my, like, stuff, I know I have, like, some of the... When I actually go through some of these, I have, like, a lot more medals, but I usually play on hard or different things depending on what I'm doing. But I usually use easy maps when it comes to, like, testing out the new towers and whatnot. So it's not like I'm using much different. This just means I get to use more stuff. Because I know next time I play Bloons, we're going to have the Desperado Tower out, and it's like, I'm definitely going to want to unlock that. If I do it on stream, it'll be a stream of just unlocking it while we do, like, these until we unlock it, and then doing, like, a test thing to see how well it does. Probably put it on logs, since it's the longest map, so we can see how well it does. Hello there, Nat. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, I definitely think when the Desperado Tower comes out, though, it might just be best to, like, unlock it through doing our... Jesus Christ! I bumped something, and my fidget cube just fell so hard. Jesus Christ. I'm okay. But I'm doing all right. But as I was saying before I accidentally bumped shit. Oh my lord. When the Desperado Tower comes out on the 18th, I'm probably gonna wait till the next time we stream this to unlock it, but we're gonna do our black borders, I think, until we unlock it. I think that's probably the best way to, like, go about it. Of course, I might just be wrong, but I definitely am excited to actually, like, play with a new tower. It's gonna be so fun. Because we're gonna want to unlock each of the things from it. And that's gonna take time. A lot of it. But we should figure it out over time. Okay. Why don't I just speed it up a bit? I mean, we have 2 Juggernauts. Juggernauts on the way, because we have a Juggernaut Spike-a-Bolt, and the next one will become a Juggernaut too. My friend uses pumpkins as theirs, so whenever we both are using like ultra jugs to make a Paragon, the screen just gets filled with pumpkins and snowballs, and it's hilarious. I just love the fact that that stuff can actually fill the screen. What do I want to use? I could do this. And then we just go for an Abyss Dweller. Because the Abyss Dweller would do pretty good in this spot. I've definitely been enjoying playing balloons more again. Like, it's always been one of those things I play in the background here and there, but being able to play it more has just been so dang nice. Because I really do love this game. No matter what I do, I can't stay away from it forever. It's honestly crazy, because thinking about Bloons Tower Defense 5, they didn't really release a lot of new towers compared to, like, skins and whatnot. But with Bloons Tower Defense 6, we started out with nowhere near everything. Like, we got the Engineer added and Mortar added normally as, like, upgrade things. Then we got the Dartling Gunner added. And that's not counting the fact that when we first started, we got 2 new monkeys with the Alchemist and Druid. Then we got the Dartling Gunner as a reward thing. Then the Beast Handler. And now we have then the Mermonkey. And now we have the frickin' Desperado, and it's like, that's a lot of monkeys. Haven't slept since 8 in the morning yesterday. Honestly, I've had days like that. There are days where I will just pull an all-nighter to finish stuff up. I'm just hoping it's not going to be that way tonight. That's the sucky part about working. Sometimes you just are kind of stuck in that position. But nonetheless. Same thing with college. Good luck having a normal sleep schedule in college type crap. Just running some coffee and energy left from laughing at random crap at 3 a.m. Honestly, fair. For me, I'm one of those people that if I don't get enough sleep for a certain period of time, I start like hallucinating like relatively quickly. So like if I go 2 days to 3 days without like proper sleep, depending how long that any form of sleep I got was, etc., I can be the most loopy person. Never stayed up for longer than a day. I have technically stayed up for almost 48 hours. So technically it's over a day, but even then. Also, I'm going to replace this with NTN, my boy. Okay, we'll do primary only, then deflation, and then we'll move to another one. Plan is to stay up for 72 hours if you can. I mean, the longer you stay up, the more unhealthy it gets. Because if you stay up too long, there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen because of just how our brains work and whatnot. I mean, for example, there's a rare disorder called fatal insomnia, where you basically can't fall asleep until you just die. Because you can easily die from lack of sleep. And people usually don't even last a month. Like, not even a month as in February type amount. Which is honestly crazy to say out loud, but it just says a lot. You'll go to sleep eventually? That's fair. That's usually how I feel. There are nights where I'll just lay there waiting to fall asleep and then like either pass out or I can't and I just lay there staring at the ceiling. Ouch. Hey Damon, hope you're doing well today. I like if you could have seen like the slow turn I just did to the side to look at OBS there. Like it would have made the character look so much like I would have looked so much more offended. Full on that hallucinating after 2 days, so just trying to see if that's true. It really usually like 3 days is like that kind of period, but it depends on the person. Depending on the person, and like how much sleep, whether proper or not, depends on how much you'll see and how soon. But within the first week, you will see it. I remember once being so overtired, I started hallucinating geese with boxing gloves attacking me. This is stuff that my family has told me about the time that I went multiple days without sleeping because I was overworking myself. Oh yeah, I would not suggest driving at night while sleep deprived, ever. Because it's dangerous. Especially someone like me with my astigmatism that makes it so I don't see lights normally. It's absolute hell. Especially when you're driving a country road and the other person has their brights on and doesn't care to turn them off when they see you. And you're just here like, are you fucking serious? We're really doing this bullshit now. Like, yeah. If you're staying up, it wouldn't give you sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is something that can just kind of randomly happen. But, like, sleep paralysis can do all sorts of weird shit to you. But the chance of that type of stuff happening is not high. Or not high enough to be a worry, at least. That's usually how it goes. I mean, because if you're staying up, it's not going to give you sleep paralysis. I mean, even then, I've had sleep paralysis once in my life. Like, once or twice. But it's... The only real scary part of it is the fact that you just can't move yourself. And then, like, 50-50, you'll, like, fully remember every single detail. Like, when I was younger, I had a lot more issues with my sleep. Now that I'm older, I sleep like an old man, which is fitting. And unintentional. Then again, I also usually work morning shifts when I'm not streaming. I mean, it really just depends. I think the most terrifying type of, like, quote-unquote sleep paralysis... Oh, thanks for the follow, Matt. Look, my name's Glavin. I hope you enjoy your stay here and are having a wonderful time. But, I think the most terrifying version of quote-unquote sleep paralysis would be, like, if you're in a surgery and, like, you're kind of in that, like, paralysis state where you can't do or say anything, but you feel every bit of, like, the surgery. That one is something that terrifies me to no end. Especially as someone who's, like, had many medical issues. It terrifies me to no end. Because I already have a freaking issue with needles. Like, whenever I go to get a vaccine or, like, a shot of any type or, like, blood drawn, I have to look away and then just talk about something that keeps me talking and distracted. Because otherwise, like my body just instinctively like flinches, and it can cause complications. I mean, it definitely is annoying though, to say the least, because it does become an issue if you have to don't ever go to the doctors or stuff like that. Honestly, fair, but it's always important. Like, it's always good to get like routine checkups here and there. Like, I do that for my own safety because I have a very bad history of injury. I mean, my knees hate me at this point in my life because of the amount of just crap that has happened to my legs and body. I mean, it really just kind of depends. I think part of the reason I was the most terrified, like one of the things that truly was terrifying was just waking up like there's always that internal fear for me that I'm just gonna wake up again one day and be unable to walk again. It's like a terrifying thought. Stopped working without touch, couldn't stand up. I did something like that, except to both my legs. Yeah, I don't know how I did it or what happened to cause it. The doctors gave an idea of what it was, but weren't even 100% sure. They were just like, honestly, this is the best option. And that's about it. But it was like, it was absolute hell. Because I remember having to relearn to walk and whatnot, taking physical therapy. For me, instead of being only a day, it lasted for an entire year before I was actually able to walk again. But even then, the constant pain / constant numbness didn't disappear for like a long ass time. So I kind of just got used to it after a point, which isn't healthy. But sometimes it just be that way. Deflation, we don't really need to worry too much about like what we're gonna do specifically. We just have it down. But it's such a terrifying feeling waking up, getting ready to stand, and just collapsing. There's just something like so horrifying about it. Because like when one of your legs is in like constant pain and then the other one is like completely numb, it hurts. But it also becomes a pain in the ass to walk, because you would think the one that's in constant pain would be the one that like would be harder to walk on. But no, it was the numb one that was harder to walk on. Which is the weird part. Like, I could easily grit through the pain, like, but there was just something about the numbness that just made it so difficult. And I still remember just laying there and them saying they were gonna test my feet and whatnot to see if I could even feel anything. And I was just laying there waiting, and I was like, when are you gonna start? And they're like, we've already started on your left one. Like, I didn't feel anything, not even the pressure. Like, because, yeah, like they even did like, because they blindfolded me for it too, and I'm just like, I didn't feel anything till it hit my right leg when it was just searing pain. It's freaking weird. I think the weirdest part was when, like, you know how when you hit your knee just right, it like goes up and like moves? Like my leg did not, the numb leg did not do that. It was super weird. I just didn't feel it. Don't know why it didn't happen. Like, it was such a weird thing. Like, it does it now, but it's like, oh yeah, the numb one was probably harder because of the lack of, like, for kind of forgetting it. But I remember it so well because, of course, as everything, because this happened to me in high school, mind you. So when I was walking again in some form, I was put on a cane. But of course, like always, there's always those people that are like, oh, you're just faking it for sympathy, or oh, you're doing this or doing that, like assuming the worst. And you're just here like, I wish. Like, it was so stressful. But I remember it taking so dang long to walk up and down stairs, and then like easily losing my balance and whatnot. It took so much physical therapy. Like, it's one of those things that you don't wish on your worst enemy, because it's like the amount of mental just pain from it alone is enough. I mean, that's why, like, when Legend of Korra, in its 4th season, like, showed the after effects of what happened with Korra, I was just like, I understood every bit of her side, like, wholeheartedly from my own experiences. I mean, it just be that way. I still do have that cane, though, somewhere. I'd have to find it again. It's a nice black cane. I also got to threaten to hit people with it a few times. It was fun. I mean, it is funny, though, when, like, someone is being a pain in the ass, and you just are like, look, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm just gonna hit you with this cane. I don't give a crap. Like, I don't care if I fall on the ground and I'm stuck there. I will hit you with this cane. Because there are always going to be those types of people. Like, oh my lord. You know, if it weren't for the fact that it was illegal, I totally would have had a sword cane. That would have been awesome. Like, being able to have a sword cane in high school would have been awesome. But I get why it wouldn't have been allowed. Oh, especially now. Had a tornado drill at school and had to go downstairs when my friends were on the crutches to try to push him. Yeah, like, it really... There's one thing that a lot of people forget, and it's the disabled. Like, we do not build enough stuff for the disabled to make it so they can safely get places. Even in, like, emergencies. And it's just sad. Like, that entire year worth of time on the cane and whatnot really taught me a lot about, like, the amount of people that treated me worse, etc., or assumed the worst and basically treated me as below them was just sad. Like, I get there's invisible disabilities, but the visible ones are the ones that always get, like, the most, like, you're just looked down upon by so many people. It's just sad. Like, imagine going to someone and just thinking it's okay to do that type of stuff. Crazy to me. Bop. And bop. Like, back when I used to do tornado drills and stuff, like, I understand why we did them and why you're supposed to cover your head. It's gonna protect you from certain things, but it's not gonna protect you from everything. And as someone who likes storm chasing and like has experienced it and whatnot, and volunteers as a storm spotter, and like sometimes will volunteer to storm chase, because like I just stopped chasing as much. I do spotting more at this point, just because I don't have time. It's kind of like, I've seen how dangerous tornadoes can be. Oh yeah, the fire drill stuff is so dumb, especially if you're on the top floor. Like, in reality, it's just dumb. But like, I remember so much from that time. And it really changed how I looked at people with disabilities, both visible and invisible. And like how it definitely humbled a lot of my thoughts on stuff, because while I could look at it through their shoes to an extent, it's hard to fully understand something until you deal with it yourself. And it's sad. Because when it happened to me, it was literally right before I got my driver's... Like, I had just gotten my driver's license and whatnot. And then, like, right before I could actually go do fun stuff. You know, I remember when we didn't have to do shooter drills in school. I also remember when we had a bomb threat, but that's a whole separate thing. I got stuck in the library. I was stuck in the library during a bomb threat once. But yeah, we never really... Back when I was going, we never really had to do shooter drills. It was never like a big thing. Which is a shame. That it's like becoming bigger and bigger of a thing that's needed. But I know for me, I remember when we got that bomb threat and we got sent home early. I was stuck in the library and I was with the librarians, and I actually got to learn like all the secret language that they use through like for like the speakers and whatnot for like different things. Like I learned that if you did like miss blank, like let's do a easy to like miss sub or something, has you forgot a notebook by Mr. Water, it would actually mean that by Mr. Waters, there is an active threat, and Miss Sub is the closest to the exit. Which is honestly interesting that they had that type of system. Also, I completely forgot about LEDs. I was so like distracted. But it was interesting to learn about that type of stuff. Like, going from that. No record crimes past few years that you know of. I mean, for me, it was like a one-off thing that kind of happened. I mean, crimes exist everywhere in some form, but I remember like our old tornado drills and whatnot. They don't help as much as you think. Like, one of the most common mistakes in tornadoes is thinking that going under an underpass is safe. In fact, it puts you in more danger. Being under an underpass is way more dangerous in the long run. because it funnels that wind a lot better. Another thing, for example, like there's all sorts of stuff. I remember when we did fire drills and whatnot, and there was one time we actually had the fire alarm go off, and we were all wondering why it went off. Like, the fire department showed up. It was like an actual like event. Turns out a moth got into one of the fire drill things and like the fire alarms and died, and basically set it off with the decomposition of its body. And I'm just here like, how the fuck does this shit happen? Like, this is the weird stuff that just happens, apparently. Like, the amount of weird stuff that has happened for me in my life is insane. I do remember my high school painting teacher. She was a wonderful woman. I haven't talked to her in a while, and I really need to talk to her again. But I don't really use Facebook or anything, so I haven't. I'm not really doing any co-op runs. I'm just doing what I can. Right now. Oh, this one's gonna suck. I'm mainly just doing this today because I do want to work on black borders. What was I saying before that? Oh yeah, my painting teacher. She was a freaking riot. And I remember when we were talking about like if someone broke into the school, etc., and we had to get out, etc. And yeah, what's the point of the water? I mean, if we had the middle path ice monkey, we could technically get out there, but not very well. But I remember her being like, look, if someone breaks through this door, you throw whatever you can at them, and I'll take this hot dog fork here and go stab, 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 stab. Let's say another one comes in. You keep throwing, stab, 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 stab. Let's say a third one comes in. They haven't learned the message. Stab, stab, stab. If they keep coming, stab, stab, stab. It doesn't matter if it's the assistant principal. Stab, 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 stab. Like, she was a riot. I loved her so much. And she's even like, you can even throw the mouse cage at him. I don't care. Like, it's because she's like, doesn't matter if it's the assistant principal or anything. If they don't do the right thing they're supposed to do and like do the specific signs and whatnot, stab, stab, stab. She was fun. She was a great painting teacher that really taught me a lot about the art of painting. Just throw lab chemical. I mean, it was a painting room. Who needs lab chemicals when you can throw a bottle of acrylic paint at them that will shatter over them? Because, I mean, I found out that one of my high school teachers actually retired this year. And I was just like, holy shit, finally. Just throw the computer. The only thing is, she didn't really have a computer in her room. The only like thing for that she had, like a computer, was her work thing that they all have now, but it wasn't as common back then. Actually, that reminds me. Anybody remember when smart boards first became a thing? It was super weird. I remember just loads of teachers having them and learning about it. And then you would always have those teachers that would just like screw around with it and have issues and just go tap, 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 tap. Same with professors and whatnot. Just tap, 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 tap. They teach on a whiteboard that don't be smart. Exactly. Yeah, I will say I was lucky to have so many fun teachers when I went. Some of them have like a good chunk of them have either retired or like moved on with stuff. I still think about the one that did the Iron Man and was like, "Oh, it's nothing big. It's just an Iron Man." And I'm like, "What?" Same guy, loved making puns and everything. Great teacher though. Then there was another teacher I had, just like, he had so much energy at like 8 in the morning, and I was just like, Mr. C, why do you have so much fucking energy in the morning? Because at that time I didn't wake up at 3 a.m. Like, and that was for a history class too. And then there was my civics class. My civics teacher was amazing. She was the funniest teacher to have. Because I remember us watching several things that we had to. And like going through stuff. Like she spent this whole time with like Jamestown and like... So, since American schools don't require you to teach how to do taxes, what she did is, for the final, she gave us a salary to go off of. And then we had to basically find a place near there to rent. And then we had to make a full-on, like, okay, this is how you basically have to do this project. You have to separate everything. Food, the rent, the many like other things you have to pay for, like trash, sewage, etc. And it really helped. Yeah, there are some that are rude and some that are nice as hell, and there's no between. Like, there was one teacher that so many people liked, but she just did not like me, and I don't know why. But I also had a teacher that everyone disliked, but she loved me because, unlike the people that hated her, I actually listened. And, like, I was basically a teacher's pet unintentionally, because I always treated them with respect. Like, basic human respect. But I also would, like, see how some of them were doing if they were gone, just like, for being, like, sick or something. I was like, hope you're feeling better. So, like, I was just being a good person. Last teacher was rude as hell for no reason. I've had a few like that. I do remember, oh my gosh, I had a professor during COVID. She was the craziest person I've ever had teach me anything. And this professor basically was like, look, if need be, I will go through records, find your house, and I will drive there and help you. Because I was having issues with the material at the time. And I'll give her credit where credit's due. At least she was willing to be there to help. Especially when a lot of people wouldn't be as teachers. But it was still kind of crazy. I mean, how do you reply to a teacher saying that without being like, what the fuck? But she was great. I do hope she's, like, doing well. Because there's some teachers that are just, like, amazing to have. My choir teacher from high school was amazing, and middle school. The middle school choir director, despite how much I hated that Catholic school, oh my god. The main one who, like, kept me sane was that teacher, and they're who got they're the one who got me into music as a whole. Um, Especially after the band director at that school got me out of bands, basically, because I could not stand, like, being in fourth grade and getting cussed out by the band teacher because I couldn't figure out something on the first 3 tries. She was a hell of a pain. But when I got to high school and whatnot, the choir teacher, I loved her so much. She still works there, I believe. She's been working there for so damn long. But she was great. And I just remember going into my sophomore year and her just basically saying to me, "Are you sure you don't want to try out for the chamber group?" Like, she was practically begging me to try out for the chamber group, and I'm like, no. So I did it in junior year, and she's like, "Finally." All the good ones retired this year for you? Oh, that sucks. But I know that choir teacher is getting close to her retirement. But she is great. Like, if there's one thing I can say about the teachers I've had a lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones. I think the teacher type, like, there's one type of teacher that I hate more than anything, and it's the ones that are like, "Oh, but the kids have to come up to do this," or "Oh, but my students have to come up to do this," etc. Despite them being in, like, middle or high school and, like, socially awkward and, like, or, like, not having time to, and the parent, like, mentions it, and or the kid already went up to them and they just don't listen. As well as the ones that are like, "People will fail this class," etc. It's like, so you're telling me the loads of people fail this class because you didn't do your job well enough? Like, I remember so much from my civics class because of how fun she made it for us. Because we had these bonus point assignments we could do where we would basically go out and we would find a news story. And we had to report on it, no matter how big or how small, to talk about it. And then it was called current events. And we'd do one a month. And it would just be like, yeah. One of the teachers in grade had to lower a lower grade because teacher in the grade became an aide and there was like 29 people. That's a shame. Like, I can understand some teachers wanting to go to lower or higher grades. That's fair. I know one of my teachers, like, actually, no, 2 of my teachers got married during the time that I was with them. And honestly, I became such a grammar Nazi for a while after middle school because of how, like, strict they were on English. But it also was like, when I went into high school, I had, like, some of the better writing of my class just because I had it, like, burned into my brain. I also had a really fun English teacher in high school. And I am quite sure that guy might have been asexual. But I'm not 100%. Like, I remember him because he was a great teacher, but also what he did is he taught us about interviewing jobs for our our final. We had to do like a job interview style with him, which was awesome. Like, there were quite a few things that I was like, ooh. Like, he taught us quite a lot. Then there was one of my other English teachers who, amazing woman. She was such a fun freshman teacher for me. Because when we did the Odyssey, she literally ran into a wall just to, like, show off. We did, like, a sword fight for Romeo and Juliet with foam swords. It was awesome. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I want more teachers like that are just make it fun. Because that's the ones you're going to remember the most, is the ones that, like, treat you with respect, but also have fun and like help you learn. Though it did suck with that class about one thing, and it is there was someone with my same first name that had such a similar last name to me that one of us had to be transferred from the class because they were so similar, and we both automatically would auto correct the other's name because we both were so used to it getting missaid. And it was, yeah, I know. The dragon. But I know I've had some great teachers in my time, and honestly, I really hope they're doing well, because there's so many good ones out there that just don't get the recognition they deserve. I can think of them. Because I had a teacher that I remember loved, like, it was a substitute teacher specifically, and despite what you would think, she was the biggest nerd, video game nerd and whatnot. Very fun person to talk to. Then there was always this one like older lady who would substitute and would read my last name and like cousin's name. Basically my cousin's name is like, yes, she's my great aunt, because she was my grandpa's sister-in-law. And then every single time, oh, tell her I said hi. And I'm just here like, uh-huh, I will if I see her. 9 times out of 10, never saw her before the next time that happened. My sister dealt with the same thing. I'm surprised that woman is still teaching there and still alive at the same time. Then there was also this war vet that we had who had fought in World War II. A shorter guy. Really nice when you actually got to know him, but was very strict outside. Didn't know it until he had subbed for choir, but turns out he was a freaking master when it came to singing. Like, he was a full-on baritone. Bro could sing so dang well. It was like the biggest left field punch out of nowhere. Like, there's so many things like that where it's like full left field, just. We did have some fun clubs too. I was part of the art club for a while, and art club basically would help with prom. It was all fine until our class president came down with cancer. Yeah, that really broke everyone. Was not fun. She did fight it off eventually, but then later on, like junior year, I just get a message from her sister of, it's back. And I'm like, of fucking course. Cause she was the one that actually like fully got me into doing art and stuff. Sadly, she did pass away from heart cancer, but she was a very wonderful person. Like, she was one of those people that when you get to talk to them and learn about them, they were one of the most interesting people who like always was like, you can do this, etc. Like, very much would enforce some of that positivity that you sometimes just need, while also still remaining a great critique. She just did some of the best critiques ever. Oh my gosh. I know it's been so dang long since I've talked to her family, because the fun fact about the president was I went to middle school with her little sister. So I actually knew her a bit beforehand. So it just made it that much worse. Haven't talked to her in so long, though. Definitely something I need to do. Because, like, there's a lot out there that I've been meaning to do, and that's one of them. Is just see how some of them are doing. Because I know, like, a lot of people I went to school with, Lord knows what happened to some of them, but I know what happened to others. Like, I know there's a good few that are in jail, and then there's a good few that are dead. But that kind of happens as you grow older. I know one of them got expelled from their college. I do remember when one thing from high school, and it was summer school. I remember it because I was taking summer school at the time. And I just remember this freaking summer teacher we had just saying, how can people have this much energy doing this? Because apparently 2 students had gotten in a fight, and one of them threw the other through a fucking window. And my only thought was, why? And it was just like, bro, it's the first day of summer school. Why would you have that much energy to throw someone through a window over what was mentioned to have been some form of argument? Like, wow. Like, these are the things that I got to experience that most people don't. I mean, I've had a weird ass life, from almost being carried away Mary Poppins style to losing the ability to walk to kids being thrown through windows to seeing the good old Oscar Mayer wiener truck to so much more. Like, there are times where my life feels like a fucking sitcom because my family and I attract some of the weirdest bad luck. Like, one of my cousins had acid spilled on her at one point. Whenever my family and I go camping, something always happens. Last time I didn't go camping with them, they went with our family friends. Fucking storm hit, and since they were doing a cabin camp out for Girl Scouts, I was like, okay, they'll be fine. A fucking branch falls through the frickin' roof. I remember when I was teaching Girl Scouts at one point, because I was basically teaching them about, like, what plants are poisonous, etc. for one of my Boy Scout badges. And a fucking blizzard hit. Like, every time we go camping, blizzard, losing our tour guide to the rapids, fucking tree going through the roof, the tent flooding on a flat surface. What did you do? I don't know. It wasn't me. This has happened to my family for generations. I mean, another example. Frickin', like, I don't know why it happened, but here I am with my grandpa. Every time we were at the lake, the fish would just be a pain in the ass to him. In that lake, when he had his flip phone, finally, he dropped at least like 10 flip phones in that fucking lake at some point, most of which he fished out. Then there was like this large bass my sister caught that just could not fit in like a bucket or anything. So we had to get like a big bucket for it. And it jumped out of the bucket. And not only that, but it jumped out of the bucket. And it freaking swam away after it freaking broke it. Like, it jumped out of the bucket, knocking it over, which then led it to breaking. Because fucking bad luck. I don't know how my family did this. Honestly, they probably did. Like, my family's luck is legendarily like, what in the absolute hell did you do? Forgot to pray for point zeros. The irony is, a good chunk of my family is religious in some form. I mean, I have an entire set of cousins that no longer talk to us because they're Jehovah's Witness. They were willing to trade the rest of their family for that. But that was before I was born. But then you also have, like, for example, my mom and I both are very clumsy. Here she is at work, just walking up the stairs, trips and breaks her pinky falling up the stairs. Another day, here's me, walking up the stairs at home. I trip, fall back down the stairs, and knock myself clean out. Another incident. I'm at school at this point. My mom's in the shower. She slips, falls out, and hits her head hard. Have fun. It was a interesting time explaining to the hospital that no, it wasn't my dad who did it. It was, in fact, her own clumsiness. It happens all the fucking time. Honestly, I would say that, but that doesn't even help. I once choked on a mozzarella stick because the cheese didn't like go down my esophagus fully with the rest of it. It had stretched just perfectly, so I basically had to, like, it was so annoying. Like, my family is prone to disaster. I mean, my sister was a sporty one. Death speed run any percent. I mean, my sister was a huge sport fanatic and stuff. And also, like, a big drummer. She injured herself so many times. I haven't broken a bone yet in my life, but she has broken several. I have all the other problems. She got the broken bones and, like, whatnot. I got the neurological and mental health stuff. And I'm just here like, fun! So it was just like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, the amount of times my family has had stuff finally find a breathe. I mean, when COVID had hit and I was doing college work, I remember I had gotten COVID finally, and I was almost hospitalized despite having the vaccination. My doctor was like, the only reason you aren't hospitalized, that vaccination is working overtime. Like, because I already have pretty bad lungs. So it's just like, oh boy, another thing to add to the list. Like, when I was a kid, I used to get strep so much that even in my adulthood, whenever I do get it, I can tell the feeling apart when I have strep throat. Like, I just know from the feeling. It's how we learned from my doctor that, in fact, there is such thing as a carrier of strep throat. Like, that is where I sit in terms of that stuff. I think they nerfed you. They really did. Like, I really got nerfed. I mean, it wasn't even until this year that I learned about being autistic. despite the fact they had known for like years, but they thought they told me. I'm not the tutorial boss. I'm the character that they had to nerf because they were too strong. Like, it's just crazy to me. The amount of stuff that just keeps happening, and I'm just like, so are we done yet? I mean, don't even get me started at the time I was at my friend's house, and his brother did something dumb. Decided to fuck with a Ouija board. A Waluigi board, or whatever you want to call it. Fucking planchette went flying at my head when I walked down those stairs. Like, I don't know why. The Luigi board. The Luega board. Do you get them from witches or vegans? God, I remember that video. Like, I have such weird experiences in, like, from some of the most random things. Honestly, you should never use a Ouija board. They freaking are just, like, way too dangerous, in my personal opinion. With the amount of stuff I've experienced from those things, through just being in, like, a vicinity of one, ain't no shit I am going to frickin' mess with it. I mean, another thing I do remember, I did try to learn magic at one point. Like, I'm talking about, like, actual, like, hat tricks and stuff, card tricks, etc. And I remember tripping during one of the things when I was practicing, and just, I am so surprised my head did not go through that frickin' wand. Tripped over air more times than you've actually tripped over anything? Oh, 100%. There's been times where I choke on air, too. Like, it's just crazy when you think about the human body isn't even made, like, that well to be, like, a bipedal creature. Like, our backs are not fully well adjusted to full bipedal. Honestly, whenever I saw, like, the original Final Destination movies, I was always like, oh boy. I mean, I've dodged death quite a few times. I mean, I remember my grandparents having this cabinet. They had to put duct tape over the corners because of how sharp they were. One time I tripped and fell and almost hit that. It would have hurt so damn much. Then there was the shop vac incident when I was a young kid. My mom and Grammy were getting the shop vac. Because those existed a long time. Police stat points. I'm like, honestly, I didn't get a choice in that matter. But basically, here I am, younger me, asking if they need help. The shop vacs thing slips out of my mom and Grammy's hands and hits me square in the fucking head. And here I am today, somehow alive, despite everything. God can't kill me easily. I don't die that easily, Batman. You tell my mom that, she would have, like, felt so bad if I told her that. Oh my lord. So my mom used to do this thing when I was younger of, like, the days leading up to her giving birth to me. and like I don't know why she would do it. It was so annoying. And it like became quite tedious to hear repeatedly. But I remember her telling me about the time she was pregnant with me. And she had gotten T-boned by this woman. And because the police couldn't show up normally, they had to call in the bicycle police. This is back when she lived in a completely different place. And I'm just here like, I forget the bicycle police existed. But they had to call in the backup with bicycle police. This is the weird shit that I get to hear about on a daily basis from my parents whenever I ask. Just gotta ask. Simple text message, and they'll give me all sorts of stories. The days leading up to Eternal Battle, honestly. But it's funny because I'm just here like, so you're telling me you got into a load of bad luck before having given birth to me. And then when I was a baby, when we were on our way home, some guy T-boned my mom. So they had to get rid of my sucker because glass had gotten into it, and I got really sad, apparently. He's just anti-luck. Honestly, like, it's actually insane the amount of bad luck I just contain. Like, I've had people say, oh, I'd love to come camping with your family one day. Whenever I say we like to go camping. And I just give them this look of, yeah, sure you do. Yeah, sure, Jan. Like, because I've talked about something. I remember when I was at a Boy Scout camp, there was this one guy that would snore every night. It was always freezing during that time because it was winter, but it was like below freezing and whatnot. And so I was curled up in my little sleeping bag with one of the older scouts, and there was this guy snored so damn loud, and then just the middle of the night, and it just cuts out. You don't even hear him anymore. We all thought he fucking died. Like, he's fine. He was alive, but he just, like, because my mom was there on that camp out too, and she was like, honestly, I thought he died too. I'm surprised he lived. I also got a crossbow from that. Like, I got my own little mini crossbow from that event. It was really fun. But it was so damn hilarious to hear about and, like, talk about now. But then it was just like, oh, fuck, someone just died, didn't they? Like, the amount of times that stuff like that has happened. Most crazy shit. Like, I remember there was one Boy Scout camp. I remember my parents wouldn't take me home despite me just literally begging them to let me go home because of how much pain I was in. I had basically told the scout, some of the scouts, do not grab pine needles from there. There's poison ivy. They didn't listen, and they threw it into my arms. Later on that trip, it had gotten so bad with poison ivy and sumac, it covered 90% of my body. It hurt to move. I was in an archery thing. I was doing my archery and geology badges at the time. It was hell. And then, during that same campout, a fucking tornado happened. And then, when I got home, the doctor's only words to me was, "Dear God, why did your parents not take you home sooner?" The doctor said, "Dear God." And was like, because he had never seen that bad of poison ivy and sumac before. God, that's that's a reference I did not expect to see today. The fact that fire departments still do like the don't deep fry a turkey, but people don't listen, is baffling to me. Until I remember, oh wait, there are people that are that dumb who just deep fry a full turkey. But like, I think the best way that a family member has described it is, we're not the circus and the monkeys. We're the whole damn fucking zoo. And honestly, yeah, we really are. Like, that's the best way to explain it. How to deep fry a turkey. Number 1, don't. Yeah, you should never deep fry a whole turkey. If you're going to deep fry something, you need to be very careful. And if you're going to deep fry turkey itself, it should not be the full damn turkey. What my family actually does is we smoke our turkey. So like we actually have so we like full on like prep it, set it out in the smoker. Tastiest shit ever. I love when my family does that stuff, like smoked pork and whatnot. Oh, it's heavenly. God, now I'm hungry for pork. That actually is really nice. Maybe I can convince my mom to make smoked pork. Maybe. Doubtful though. Oh yeah, but I used to be able to eat loads of that, but then I gained an allergy to onions and now I can't eat it. Same thing with MSG, I can't have a lot of stuff. The irony is the only onion I'm not allergic to is spring onion. Because I have horrible spring allergies. So literally it's just the world saying, fuck you. You're not allergic to spring onion, but you're allergic to horrible spring allergies. Now have fun. Literally, just why? Like, that's how I felt. Was just like, why? It's honestly crazy. We roll or die. Fair. For me, I've kind of tested my onion allergy safely enough. In quotations, safely. Like, I know what affects me most. Let's go gambling. I mean, don't get me... Like, my D&D group has, like, one of the weirdest set of allergies. Like, you would think, okay, maybe peanuts, normal things. No. Onions, MSG, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, gluten. Like, the most normal one there is gluten. Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Actually, did you see that there's a new season of Phineas and Ferb? I actually spent some time with my family and got to watch a bit of it. Fucking episode 1, their mom got vaporized, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I did not expect it, and it caught me so off guard. Because, like, I don't care if I'm an adult. I love animation as a whole, and there's definitely some differences in animation. But, oh my god, that, like, caught me so off guard. I mean, it's almost like when Owl House caught me off guard. She got removed from the player database. I mean, Owl House cut me off guard too, as well as like many other shows that are like kids shows that like do things that normally you don't see in kids shows, like for example show blood, or have like such a deep, like really fucked up thing happen that's talked about and like respected normally in a way that children can understand, like with Last Airbender. It just really says a lot. Like, it's just one of those things. I mean, I definitely want to see in the future, though, like, what happens with some of that stuff. Because I might watch more of the new Phineas and Ferb. I don't know. Probably not going to watch it without family, though. Because my mom likes the show, too. And she's, like... It's crazy saying it out loud that my mom, this much older woman, is like, yeah, I love cartoons. I mean, but it just kind of shows how, like, big it is for some of us. I do wish Disney would make some 2D movies again. I miss 2D animation from Disney movies. But sadly, I don't think they'll do that. It's why we're also seeing a bunch more CGI. They don't want to do the newer ideas. Plus, animators of both 3D and 2D have now both unionized. Don't watch tunes in your car. Oh my god, that just reminded me of the old Sonic series. And remember, say no to drugs. Honestly, with how much they put that into your head, like, you would think that you would be getting offered drugs daily. Sadly, no. I wasn't. I have been offered them before. I just don't care. Not that I could even have them if I wanted them. How to die in 3 easy steps. 1. Get offered drugs. 2. Take drugs. 3. Die of medical complications that aren't related to the drugs. That would be that's like my thing. You live in the chillest neighborhood. I live in what's called the rurals. Like, living more rural is so damn annoying because the internet always sucks. No matter what you do, it's always gonna suck. But it's just kind of that way. Either way, though, for those who are not already part of it, !Dislab, where we have the Discord. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. CST. We're 68% safe for the most states. Dang, not 69. That's not nice. But I'm done. But whenever I go live, or if something happens, I always announce that on the Discord and whatnot. And !YouTube, where if you miss a VOD, it will inevitably go up on the VOD channel. I need to get ready for work and whatnot. Otherwise, I'd totally stay longer and keep doing this. But just remember to always stay awesome. The VODs will always come out on Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays, 8 a.m. CST. And tomorrow is free game day, so we'll see what I play. Who's to say? I might play Bloons. I might play Minecraft. I might play a completely different game. Just depends what I'm feeling. Either way, hope you'll have wonderful days, and remember, you're all